Have you ever felt like your body was trying to tell you something, but the message was so subtle, you weren't even sure what was wrong? Maybe it's that persistent fatigue that no amount of sleep seems to cure, or that low-grade ache in your joints that creeps in, especially after a long day. What if I told you that these small discomforts might be signals of something deeper, something that millions of people unknowingly battle every day: chronic inflammation? Now, before we dive in, let me make you a promise. If you stay with me until the end, I'll share a bonus tip that can naturally boost everything I'm about to show you. It's simple, it's practical, and almost no one talks about it. But it might be the missing piece your routine has needed all along. We all want better sleep, more energy, and fewer aches. But the truth is, many of us are overlooking one key factor that's sabotaging all of this, without us even knowing: inflammation. Not the kind you get when you sprain an ankle or catch a cold. I'm talking about the quiet, ongoing inflammation that builds up in your body over time. It doesn't shout, it whispers. And by the time it's loud enough to notice, it may have already done some damage. Chronic inflammation is now being linked to everything from sleep disorders to cardiovascular issues. It can disrupt your hormones, interfere with digestion, and create a cycle of discomfort that seems almost impossible to break. And yet, it often starts with the smallest things: what we eat, how we manage stress, and even when we go to bed. What's particularly concerning is how inflammation and poor sleep feed off each other. Inflammation makes it harder for your body to regulate melatonin, the hormone that helps you fall asleep and stay asleep. And when your sleep is disturbed, your body produces more inflammatory markers. It's a loop, one that quietly chips away at your health, night after night. And here's the twist. There are actions you can take right now that begin to reverse this cycle. Natural solutions, rooted in everyday choices, that can significantly reduce inflammation and promote deeper, more restorative sleep. But be warned, as promising as that sounds, using these tools incorrectly can backfire. The wrong method, the wrong dose, or the wrong time of day can have the opposite effect. That's why it's so important to understand how these natural aids work before you rush to try them. Today's world pushes us toward shortcuts: pills for sleep, sugary snacks for energy, screens that glow long into the night. But if we zoom out, even just a little, we'll see there's another way. A slower, smarter way that works with your body, not against it. A way that many ancient cultures embraced without even naming it. And we're going to bring that wisdom back into the spotlight, starting now. In this journey, we'll explore foods, habits, and natural compounds that not only reduce inflammation, but also help you drift off more easily and wake up feeling refreshed. No complicated regimens, no expensive supplements, just what works and how to make it work for you. And just to be clear, this is not about fear. This is about empowerment. Because the more you understand what's happening inside your body, the more control you have over your health. Let's start with a truth that might surprise you. One of the most powerful anti-inflammatory tools is already in your kitchen. And chances are you've been using it all wrong. Get ready, because what comes next may shift how you see something as simple as your next meal. And the next tip is one of the most important in this entire process. If you skip it, you not only risk seeing little to no improvement, you may actually create more harm than good. But we'll approach it the right way, together. Imagine walking into your kitchen, reaching into your pantry, and unknowingly choosing ingredients that spark a fire inside your body. Not a fire you can feel immediately, but one that simmers slowly, quietly, affecting everything from your energy levels to how well you sleep at night. It might sound dramatic, but this is the reality for millions of people across the country, every single day. And here's where things get really interesting. Most of these inflammatory triggers come from foods many Americans eat regularly. Foods that have become so embedded in our daily routines, we hardly question them. Salad dressings, sandwich breads, processed snacks, sugary drinks, and even the beloved coffee creamer. Hidden within are substances that not only fuel chronic inflammation, but also interrupt the delicate chemistry responsible for your rest and recovery. Take refined vegetable oils, for instance. These oils, like soybean, corn, and canola, are often marketed as heart-healthy alternatives. But the truth is, When consumed frequently, especially in processed forms, they can tip your body into a pro-inflammatory state. These oils are high in omega-6 fatty acids, which, while essential in small amounts, become problematic when not balanced with anti-inflammatory omega-3s. Then there's sugar, the sneaky kind. Not the spoonful you stir into your tea, but the one that's hiding in your store-bought tomato sauce or breakfast granola. Consistent overconsumption of added sugars spikes your insulin levels and activates inflammatory pathways that can mess with your body's ability to rest. Your body goes into overdrive when it should be winding down. Even your evening snack might be sabotaging you. Highly processed foods often contain preservatives and artificial additives that trigger immune responses. These reactions might not feel like a full-blown allergy, but they quietly activate your body's defense systems, keeping it on high alert and interfering with the natural transition into sleep. And let's not forget caffeine. While many of us rely on it to power through our days, consuming it too late, especially in combination with sugar and dairy additives, can inflame the gut lining and overstimulate the nervous system. That late afternoon iced coffee with vanilla syrup might feel like a treat, but it could be the very thing stealing your sleep. Now, this isn't about guilt. It's about awareness. Because once you know what's quietly working against your body, you can begin to take back control. You can swap out that vegetable oil for extra virgin olive oil, reduce processed snacks in favor of whole foods, and be more mindful about sugar content, even in healthy options. And here's the truly empowering part. Your choices matter. Science is clear. What you eat directly influences your body's inflammatory response. But more importantly, real change doesn't require extreme dieting or deprivation. It's about small shifts, made consistently, that gradually bring your body back into balance. Something as simple as switching your evening snack from chips to a handful of almonds, or replacing that sugary drink with a calming herbal tea can set off a chain reaction that promotes better sleep and lower inflammation. Your kitchen can become your medicine cabinet, but only if you know what to keep and what to toss. We're just beginning to tap into the real potential of food as healing. And in the next step of this journey, we'll uncover a specific natural ingredient, humble, common, yet incredibly potent, that's been sitting on the sidelines of your routine. But when used correctly, it can be one of your body's strongest allies against inflammation. And here's something critical to remember. This next tip isn't just powerful, it's also easy to get wrong. And using it the wrong way could reduce all the progress you've made, and even cause digestive discomfort or irritation. That's why it's so important to pay attention to every detail moving forward. There's a good chance you've walked past it countless times at the grocery store. A small jar, often tucked between spices you rarely use, sitting there unassuming, its deep golden color hinting at something special. It's not new, not trendy, and certainly not expensive. Yet it holds a reputation that stretches back thousands of years, for good reason. This ingredient is turmeric, and its power lies in a compound called curcumin. Now, here's where things get intriguing. Curcumin has been the subject of extensive research due to its anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, and even neuroprotective properties. Scientists have found that it helps to downregulate inflammatory markers in the body, including those tied to chronic illness and poor sleep. It supports your immune system, balances your internal response to stress, and may even play a role in enhancing mood. But, and this is a big but, most people are getting little to no benefit from it. Why? Because they're consuming it the wrong way. You see, curcumin is notoriously hard for the body to absorb. You can sprinkle turmeric over your dinner every night and still not experience much of a change. That's not because the ingredient is ineffective, but because your body needs help to process it. It's like trying to water a plant with a sealed bottle. You're holding the right solution, but the method is flawed. What's even more surprising is that traditional practices, particularly from Indian and Southeast Asian cultures, figured this out centuries ago. Long before clinical trials or research papers, they intuitively paired turmeric with other natural ingredients to unlock its full potential. And that's what we need to bring into our routines today. Not just what we use, but how we use it. To truly benefit from turmeric's anti-inflammatory effects, it must be paired with two key elements: fat and black pepper. The reason is science-based but simple. Curcumin is fat-soluble, meaning it binds to fat, which enhances its transport through the digestive system. Without fat, it mostly passes through the body unused. And black pepper contains a compound called piperine, which increases curcumin absorption by up to 2,000%. That's not a typo, 2,000%. Now imagine this. You're dealing with joint discomfort, low energy, restless nights. You add turmeric to your smoothies or teas, thinking you're doing something good. But without fat and piperine, you're barely scratching the surface of what it can do. It's not your fault. Most people were never taught how to prepare these natural ingredients properly. So here's a small but powerful shift. When using turmeric, always combine it with a healthy fat, like coconut oil, olive oil, or even a splash of full-fat milk and a pinch of black pepper. This trio creates a synergy that transforms turmeric from a simple spice into a healing tool. And it gets better. When incorporated into your evening routine, especially in warm beverages, this blend can help lower inflammation and signal your body to begin winding down. It gently supports your natural sleep rhythms without sedating you or causing grogginess the next day. It works with your body, not against it. But let's be clear, more is not always better. Overdoing turmeric or black pepper or using the wrong types of fats can irritate the stomach or interfere with other functions. Precision matters. Balance matters. And understanding your own body's responses is part of making any natural approach truly effective. There's something almost poetic about using ancient wisdom to solve modern problems. The fact that a humble root can do so much for inflammation, mood, and sleep, with just a few small adjustments, should inspire a new level of respect for the healing power of nature. But the journey doesn't stop here. In fact, the next piece of the puzzle is often the one that makes all the difference. Because even with the right ingredients and combinations, one overlooked detail could make or break your progress. And ignoring it doesn't just limit your results, it could actually lead to setbacks that leave you wondering why nothing's working. We'll address it fully and clearly, right where it matters most. Timing is everything. You've learned how powerful turmeric can be when combined with the right ingredients. But there's one crucial factor that can either enhance its effects or quietly undo them: when and how you consume it. It might seem like a small detail, but your body doesn't treat it that way. You see, your internal systems operate on rhythms. There are natural highs and lows in hormone levels, temperature, digestion, and even inflammation. That's why the exact same food can have a different effect depending on what time of day you eat it. And when it comes to fighting inflammation and improving sleep, aligning your intake with your body's clock can make all the difference. Let's break it down. At night, your body shifts into recovery mode. It's repairing tissues, balancing hormones, and resetting your nervous system. But it needs the right conditions to do this effectively. If you eat something that triggers inflammation, even unintentionally, you're placing your body in a defensive state right when it should be restoring itself. On the flip side, consuming the right anti-inflammatory foods in the evening can support this healing process and even enhance the quality of your sleep. This is where turmeric, when used correctly, shines. Incorporating it into a warm evening drink, often referred to as golden milk, can be one of the most soothing and supportive habits you introduce into your nighttime routine. But it has to be done right. Start with a base of warm milk, ideally a plant-based milk like almond or coconut, which pairs well with the fat-soluble curcumin. Add half a teaspoon of turmeric, a pinch of black pepper, and a teaspoon of a healthy fat like coconut oil or ghee. Optionally, a bit of cinnamon or ginger can enhance both the flavor and anti-inflammatory benefits. Warm it gently, never boil it, and sip slowly about an hour before bed. This practice isn't just about what's in the cup, it's about the ritual. Taking time to prepare something calming sends a signal to your brain that the day is winding down. The ingredients help reduce inflammation, the warmth soothes your digestive system, and the routine itself becomes a psychological anchor for rest. But let's address a common mistake. Many people rush through their evening routines, consuming even healthy items right before bed or pairing them with sugar, alcohol, or heavy meals. This disrupts digestion, causes inflammation, and leads to shallow, restless sleep. Even natural ingredients like turmeric need space to work. That's why it's essential to have your last food or drink, especially something medicinal, at least an hour before lying down. Give your body time to absorb, process, and settle. Otherwise, even the best habits can lose their power. And while we're being precise, remember that consistency beats quantity. Drinking golden milk once in a while won't transform your sleep, but incorporating it regularly as part of a mindful evening routine can help reset your body's internal clock, reduce inflammation, and create lasting improvements in how you feel each morning. One of the most underestimated elements of health is alignment, doing the right things at the right times. When your actions harmonize with your body's natural rhythms, even small changes create big results. So as you consider adding this golden ritual to your evenings, remember, it's not just about what you consume. It's about when, how, and why. Respect the rhythm, and your body will respond in ways that might surprise you. But don't get too comfortable yet. The next insight we're about to uncover is perhaps the most crucial of all. Because even with the right foods, combinations, and timing, there's one final element that determines whether all of this actually works. And if you skip it, or get it wrong, you could not only stall your progress, but potentially create unwanted effects. So stay with me. Sometimes it's not what we do, but when and how we do it. That makes the biggest difference. By now, you've seen the incredible potential of turmeric, especially when it's paired correctly and consumed at the right time. But even the best natural remedies can lose their effectiveness, or worse, cause discomfort, if one critical factor is ignored: preparation. Let's take a closer look at how seemingly minor details in how you prepare turmeric-based drinks or meals can completely shift the way your body responds. One of the biggest mistakes people make is rushing the process, thinking that just tossing ingredients together and drinking them down is enough. But like any powerful tool, turmeric works best when treated with care. It begins with the temperature. Heating turmeric too much can degrade its active compounds. This is a common error, boiling the mixture or microwaving it quickly, assuming that faster is better. But curcumin is sensitive to heat, and while it does need some warmth to activate, going beyond a gentle simmer can actually break down its effectiveness. Think of it like steeping a delicate tea. You want warmth, not a roaring boil. Then there's the choice of ingredients. Not all turmeric is created equal. The powdered version in your spice rack might have been sitting there for months, or even years. Over time, it loses potency. Opt for organic turmeric whenever possible. And if you can access fresh root, even better. Fresh turmeric not only delivers more active compounds, but also brings a richer flavor and texture to your preparation. Now consider the fats and liquids. As we've discussed, turmeric needs fat to be properly absorbed. But not all fats are ideal. Refined vegetable oils or synthetic creamers often contain inflammatory components themselves. The goal is to enhance absorption, not counteract the benefit. That's why ingredients like extra virgin olive oil, coconut oil, or grass-fed ghee are much more effective partners in your blend. And here's something most people miss: the stirring. When you prepare a turmeric drink, especially golden milk, don't just drop in the ingredients and sip. Stirring thoroughly ensures even distribution of the curcumin and the fat, allowing your body to absorb it more consistently. You're not just making a drink, you're activating a formula. That's a completely different mindset. Portion control matters too. It's tempting to think that doubling the amount of turmeric or black pepper will lead to double the benefits. But that's not how your body works. Too much turmeric can irritate the gut lining, and excess black pepper can cause nausea or interfere with certain medications. Moderation, especially when it comes to natural compounds, is not just smart, it's essential. Even the timing of when you sit down with your drink matters. Creating a quiet moment, away from screens, in a relaxed environment, allows your nervous system to shift out of fight or flight mode. This enhances digestion and helps your body process the nutrients more efficiently. It may sound small, But drinking your turmeric blend while scrolling through stressful news or rushing to check emails isn't the same as sipping it calmly, with intention. The beauty of natural healing is in the ritual. When you prepare something with purpose, your body responds. The act of slowing down, of choosing each ingredient thoughtfully, of honoring your health through routine, it all signals to your brain and body that you're safe, that you're healing, that it's time to rest and recover. And this isn't just philosophy, it's biochemistry. The parasympathetic nervous system, which governs rest and digestion, is activated by calm and mindful practices. So yes, how you prepare and consume your turmeric makes a physiological difference. It's not just about ingredients. It's about harmony. With each intentional step, choosing quality turmeric, using healthy fats, stirring with care, drinking calmly, you're not just following a routine. You're creating a foundation for long-term well-being. But all of this leads to something even deeper. Because even the most perfectly prepared anti-inflammatory drink will fall short if one last piece is missing. There's a key element that, when ignored, can quietly undo all your efforts. And depending on your current lifestyle, it may already be holding you back. We need to talk about it, because understanding this next point could be the breakthrough your body has been waiting for. You've taken the steps. You've learned about what causes inflammation, uncovered the hidden triggers in everyday foods, discovered the potential of turmeric and how to use it correctly, even mastered the timing and the preparation. But there's one final layer that determines whether all this will truly work for you, or quietly unravel without you even noticing: your lifestyle. You can eat all the right things, drink the golden milk, and still find yourself struggling with inflammation and poor sleep if your daily habits are sending mixed messages to your body. Because health isn't built in isolation. It's the result of small, interconnected choices that either align or clash with what your body needs. Let's start with something simple but often overlooked: movement. Not intense exercise, not hours at the gym, just consistent, gentle movement. A short walk after dinner, light stretching in the morning, even standing up every hour if you work at a desk. These actions stimulate circulation, reduce inflammatory markers, and support the detoxification systems that help your body reset each night. Sedentary living, on the other hand, slows these processes to a crawl, allowing inflammation to accumulate unchecked. Then there's stress. And here's the hard truth: no amount of turmeric can compete with chronic emotional stress. When your body feels threatened, whether by a real danger or just a relentless stream of worries, it produces cortisol. In short bursts, cortisol helps, but when it stays elevated, it becomes a major driver of inflammation and sleep disruption. It keeps your nervous system on edge and blocks the natural release of melatonin. You may go to bed on time, but your mind races. Your body never fully lets go. This is why practices like deep breathing, mindfulness, or simply having a quiet evening routine are more than just nice to have. They're the signal to your body that it's safe to rest, and when your body feels safe, it heals. Also, consider your exposure to artificial light, especially in the evening. Blue light from phones, TVs, and laptops interferes with melatonin production, confuses your circadian rhythm, and pushes your sleep cycle later and later. No drink, no supplement, no food can override that signal. But something as simple as dimming your lights or wearing blue light blocking glasses after sunset can make a tangible difference. Sleep hygiene is not a buzzword. It's the bedrock of recovery. That means going to bed at the same time each night, avoiding heavy meals late in the evening, and giving your body a wind-down period that doesn't involve screens or stimulation. And finally, community. This might sound unrelated, but it's not. Studies consistently show that people who feel connected to friends, to family, to a sense of purpose, have lower markers of inflammation and better overall health. Isolation, on the other hand, raises stress hormones and weakens the immune system. A conversation, a shared meal, even a phone call can have a healing effect that no pill can replicate. So if you've been wondering why change feels hard or results seem inconsistent, consider whether these elements are in place. Because food is powerful, but it doesn't act alone. It works best when supported by movement, rest, emotional balance, and connection. Now, as promised, here's your bonus insight, the one almost no one talks about, yet it can amplify everything you've done up to this point. It's tart cherry. Yes, the humble cherry, especially in its concentrated juice form, is one of the richest natural sources of melatonin. It's been shown to improve sleep duration and quality, reduce inflammation, and even support muscle recovery. Adding a small serving of tart cherry juice to your nighttime routine, either on its own or as part of your golden milk preparation, can help signal your body to wind down naturally. It's gentle, effective, and most importantly, backed by research. But remember, it's not a magic solution. It's a complement. And like everything we've explored, it works best when part of a greater whole. You now hold something most people never receive, a complete picture. You're not just guessing. You're acting with clarity. And that kind of knowledge is powerful. Let this be your reminder that your health is not out of your hands. It's in the small choices, the quiet routines, the intention behind what you do each day. So share this. Talk about it. Help someone else reconnect with their health through the power of simplicity, consistency, and natural care. And whatever you do, don't stop here. Because ignoring what comes next not only limits your growth, but can slowly take you back to where you started. You've come too far for that.